Ang videong ito ay paalala sa mga SSS pensioner, retirement, death at total disability. Ang Annual Confirmation of Pensioner or ACOP, ang SSS o Social Security System or Commission in its resolution number 350/2011 dated March 16, 2011 approval the following guidelines in the conduct of annual confirmation of pensioners or ACOP. A medical assessment of total disability pensioner to ensure continuous eligibility to pension in accordance with the SSS law. Sino ba ang pinaalalahanan ng bidyong ito ng SSS? Ay yung lahat ng total disability pensioner, all retirees and death pensioner receiving pension through the bank shall report to their respective depository bank. All retiree and death pensioners under guardianship and those receiving pension through check shall report to any SSS branches. Philippine Social Security System SSS Annual Confirmation of Pensioners Program resumed October 1. The Social Security System SSS announced the resumption of an annual confirmation of pensioners or ACOP program of the yearly reporting to the SSS starting October 1 to March 31. SSS Circular Guidelines on the resumption of the annual confirmation of pensioners. We want to remind our pensioners that it is important to comply sa ACOP so that they can continue to receive their monthly pension. Implemented ACOP in 2012 to make sure that the only rightful beneficiaries will continue to enjoy the SSS benefit. Non-compliance will the yearly reporting will lead to the suspension of their monthly pension. SSS President and Chief Aurora Ignacio explained, ang hindi pagka-comply ay maaaring magresulta ng pagkatigil ng inyong pension. Those who are required to comply under the new guidelines are retirement pensioners, residing abroad, total disability pensioners, survivor pensioners, and dependent minors, incapacitated pensioner. A pensioner failed to comply with ACOP on the schedule mentioned earlier, SSS will temporarily suspend their monthly pension starting with their May 2022 pension. However, if the pensioner here are already complied with their yearly reporting for 2021, they are no longer required to resubmit their duly accomplished ACOP form and other required documents, Ignacio said. Kapag hindi po kayo nakapag-ACOP, maaaring mahinto ang inyong pension simula May 22 SSS pension. The second option is to send the required documents to the email address of the nearest SSS branch or foreign office. Pensioner can check the SSS website www.sss.gov.ph for a list of SSS branch and foreign office with their respective email addresses. These methods applicable for survivor pensioner, dependent children, and their guardians, the pensioner residing in the Philippines. Second option naman para sa mga survivor pensioner, dependent children, and their guardians, and those residing in the Philippines. Maaaring i-check ang SSS website sa sss.gov.ph para sa list of SSS branch and foreign offices. In submitting their ACOP compliance, they should follow this format in their email. Subject: ACOP compliance pensioners. Name, SSS number. An example of this format is ACOP Compliance, Juan de la Cruz, 0123-45678-9. Follow lang ang format na ito, ACOP Compliance Pensioner, name, SSS number. The third option is to send the requirement document through mail or courier service. Survivor pensioners and dependent children and their guardians can send it to the nearest SSS branch office. Meanwhile, pensioner residing abroad can send it to the SSS OFW Contact Service Section, SSS Main Office, Quezon City, or the nearest SSS Foreign Office. Pensioner residing abroad can send it to the nearest OFW Contact Service Section, SSS Main Office, Quezon City, or the nearest. Pensioners who will use the second option, ACOP should send the following duly accomplished ACOP form: 1 primary or 2 secondary ID cards, a self-declaration form of non-remarriage, non-cohabitation for survivor pensioners, a half-body photo that shows them beholding a current newspapers or a TV news crawler or ticker as a background, wherein the news headlines at the date are visible. A half-body photo that shows them holding a current newspapers or a TV crawler or ticker as a background, wherein the news headlines and backgrounds are visual. The fourth option, this one is the fourth option is to the drop box found in SSS branch, just to comply with their yearly reporting. The option is applicable for total disability pensioner residing in the Philippines and pensioners representative. They can use Dropbox to submit the documents mentioned above. Total disability pensioners residing in the Philippines and pensioners. For total disability pensioner, they need to submit their recent medical certificate issued by the attending physician or any government physician. They should also provide a certified true copy of their laboratory result conducted within 1 year from the birth month, Ignacio said. Recent medical certificate issued by their attending physician or any government physician. Lastly, total disability pensioner can request for domiciliary medical service home from SSS. They can send a written request to the SSS Medical Services section by email or send to the nearest SSS branch office via Dropbox or by mail. Total disability pensioner can request for domiciliary medical service or home service. On the other hand, SSS also announced that starting April, pensioners should follow their usual compliance schedule, complying with the ACOP requirements. Retiree pensioners residing abroad and total disability pensioners need to do their yearly reporting on their birth month, meaning survivor pensioners should comply with the annual reporting birth month of the deceased members, while dependent children, their guardian on the birth month of the member of the deceased members. SSS also announced that starting April 1, pensioners should follow their usual compliance schedule in complying with the ACOP requirements. Survivors pensioners should comply with the annual reporting on the birth month of the deceased members, while dependent children and their guardians on the birth month of the members of the deceased members. Remember this, October 1, 2021 hanggang March 31, 2022, ang SSS ACOP ay nag-resume para mag-report ng yearly sa ACOP. And here are some example of the ACOP form to be submitted sa SSS and guidelines. Paalala po ito mula sa SSS para sa mga pensioner, total disability pensioner, all retiree and death pensioners under guardianship, and those receiving pension through check shall report to any SSS branches.